struggling. They're ending up with that mediocrity. They're dying with that same mediocrity. Mediocrity isn't the problem. The problem is they are knowledgeable, but still, why this is the problem? Why they're struggling? If they're having knowledge, do you want to know? Then everybody, it's my series called Knowledgeable People Are Struggling. It's the part number 2 of it. In the part number 1, I have explained to you that, hey, why truly knowledgeable people are struggling? What's the reason? And I have given you the reason that they do not know the thing. They do not know how to think. And which is the most critical skill in the world. Which is actually one of the most critical skill in this world. They do not know how to think. And I can probably say that, hey, you can master that. But I can guarantee you, second one is not as easy as you expect. Because second one is this much hard that if you have mastered this, it can take you to that level where you can be the billionaire. Where you can be the billionaire. So what are you waiting for? There we begin with your journey where you have to master the second skill. Again, I am telling you, it's not as easy as you think. Because if it would be, then everybody would have been a billionaire. So let's know what's that. First one was knowing actually how to think. And second one is focus. Focus, not like focusing on particular thing for a particular period of time. No, not even focus for a few days. Not even focus for a few weeks. Not even focus for month, because people can do that easily. Not focus for even few years. Focus for decades. Focus for decades. Focus for 10 years. And that's what you need. And even it's even said by Dhirubhai Ambani and Mukesh Ambani that, hey, just select one goal and give your whole life onto it. And just work like a dead person on it. Here, dead means like working with this all sweat and blood and effort, not that completely died. That's what you must have seen that. Where Mukesh Ambani and Dhirubhai Ambani said that select one goal and work on it with your full efforts and hard work. Don't change it. Work on it. Give your whole life. And that's what you have to do. Work on that particular thing for decades. Why I'm saying this, you can even take the example of billionaire when it comes to Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett had his whole success, like half or more than 1% of his success, and even 90% of his wealth after the age of 60. And even that KFC guy, he also had his most of the success after age of the 60. And that's what. Why? What's the reason? They've given their whole life. Whole life in the sense, Lord, like those old decades just for that one particular thing. And that's what's the thing. Good things takes time. And at that point, they weren't having that much great results. But after that particular age, after the age of 60, they were like shocked. They were in the list of billionaires. Their hard work pays off. And that's what's the thing. You have to select a particular goal. Work for that particular goal for decades. Why I'm saying simply decades? Just because of the reason, sometimes what actually people be is like after a few days, weeks, or if let's suppose months or years, people are changing. People are changing. And even if you're changing after a few years, even that's not correct. That's not correct. You're not going to have results. But when you will do a particular thing for 10 years, then you are mastering it because for 10 long years, for a decade, you're working on that thing. You're mastering, and you can say that thing is in a public that, hey, I am having mastery in it. I'm having 10 years of experience on this particular field. And that's what you can say. And you can even have a great results on it. And that's why decades. And it also gives great results. So if you want to achieve anything big, you need to be focused on that particular thing for decades. And that's what the simply thing is. And you have to accept this thing that there is nothing shortcut. Shortcut for success, shortcut of growing business, nothing. Nothing like is there. Even recently I have been to an event where Ritesh Agarwal and Ashir Grover came. And they both said just very simple thing. Don't fix in that illusion that hey, you're gonna find one shortcut and you're gonna be that billionaire or millionaire just in a night. No, nothing like this will gonna happen. You have to work hard with those efforts. And that's what. And those old stories which you heard that hey, rahato raat mein crorepati ban gaye. No, nothing like that will gonna happen. You can take the example of Warren Buffett and that KFC person. They are the right example. And you have to understand this thing. Ritesh Agarwal, Ashir Grover, Mukesh Ambani, Asia's richest person, said this thing. Select one goal, stick on it for a whole life. If you cannot be, just be for a decade. You're gonna experience it and you can say that hey, I'm having expertise because in those 10 years you gain a lot. And that's what's the thing. But here one more question arises that hey, okay, you're gonna do it for a decade. But what if you're not having still results? And how you're truly gonna have results? And how you're gonna show that output to this world? And how you truly gonna have this output? Because being consistent, focus is okay. But lots of time you struggle to have results. And even what's that process in between you have to follow while focusing because you'll be distracted? If you wanna know, then what you're waiting for? Part 3 is there. Don't forget to watch.